Hi, boys and girls. I hope you are all on your best behavior. Remember, I am still in the school building, so I might be stopping by at any moment. I trust that you are doing well, so thank you for your cooperation. I appreciate all of you. Quick shout out to Ayana and Ariana, who have been coming to see me for lunch a lot. And although their intention is not always to come and do work, I always somehow manage to convince them to do math work, and I'm very grateful that they're always listening to me. Of course, there's usually some candy involved, but they've been doing a really good job, so keep up the hard work. All right, so we're talking about basically our last part of this unit before our test, which is about interior and exterior angles of triangles. So get your notes page, and here we go. All right, so let's look at our lickety-split review. Remember, triangles have 180 degrees. Every single triangle, all of the angles add to 180 degrees. And I hope you're listening to this. If you notice someone in class who's not listening, please tell them they need to listen because it's important to listen. So if we take all three of the angles and we add them together, it will equal 180 degrees. Always, always, and always. No matter what kind of triangle we have, whether it's a right triangle, an isosceles, an equilateral, a scalene triangle, the three angles always add to 180. All right, to find the measurement of a missing angle in a triangle, you have to set up an equation and use inverse operations to solve, which is what we always do, right? We always use inverse operations. All right, hopefully this part is not difficult, but the angles inside of a triangle, so the inside angles are called interior angles. The angles outside of a triangle are called exterior. So if someone's talking about the interior of your house, think in is inside. The exterior of your house is outside. And then remember, a straight line is made of 180 degrees. So I'm going to add a little part here that says a straight line is made of 180 degrees. Okay, I'm going to draw a quick triangle here. And I'm just going to put a little dot. So here, or a little line here, those are interior angles. And then in blue, I'm going to call this one here, that's exterior, because that's outside of the triangle. Okay? All right, moving on. Finding the exterior angle measures. We're going to look at this a little bit more on Tuesday. I have a little activity for us to see really why it's working this way. But you want to find the value of the missing interior angle. Step 2, since the interior and exterior angle are supplementary, so that's something that you might want to highlight. Okay. So interior and exterior angle are supplementary. Okay, and I should put a little note here. Look, I'm doing that again. I haven't learned yet. Okay, the adjacent. So the adjacent angles. So for example, this angle and then this angle here. They're supplementary. They add to 180. Okay. Step 3, solve the equation. So let's look at this first example over here. We want to find the measure of x right here. Okay. That's what we're looking for. So we have these two angles. So far we know this angle is 63. We know this angle is 56. These two angles together, Marvin, stop. All right, these two angles together, plus this missing angle over here, which we don't have. So all three of these angles add to 180. We are going to call this one here angle Y. That means the color we can see. We're going to call that angle Y. So if we add together, the 63 plus the 56 plus Y, it's going to equal 180. Okay? 119 is 63 plus 56 plus Y equals 180. How did we get that 119? Well, we subtract. We do minus 119. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. And 180 minus 119 is conveniently okay, is unconveniently a typo. So, let's undo this part. It's not going to let me erase. Really? I can't erase this. All right, so this is not, we subtract from each side, and y is actually going to be equal to 61 degrees. So then over here, we need that these two are equal to 180. They're supplementary. So 61 plus x is equal to 180. Okay, so x is equal to, subtract 61 from both sides, and x is equal to 180 minus 61 is 119. Okay, some of you might be noticing something. This is a pattern we're going to explore a little bit more on Monday, but the sum of 63 and 56 was also 119. It's not a coincidence. All right, example 2. All right, find the value of the missing exterior angle. So we first are going to start with these two. No. So we have 49 and 70, and then we're going to call this one y. This is y, and we're also going to be looking for this first. So 49 plus 70 plus y equals what? Equals 180. 49 plus 70 is 119 equals 180. Okay? Minus 119, and this is just a coincidence that it's 119 again. Y equals 180 minus 119. Remember, that was 61. So now that means that the angle together with y, so x plus 61, is equal to 180. We subtract 61 from both sides, and x is equal to 119. All right, so I'm going to kind of go back on that little coincidence that I said. It's not a coincidence that this over here was 119 and then this is 119, but it is a coincidence that example 1 and 2 both have an answer of 119. It will not always be equal to 119. That's kind of poor planning on whoever made this worksheet, so I apologize for that. But what we're going to notice, and we're going to look at this more on Monday, is that these two angles together are always the same as this exterior angle. The two interior angles are equal to the exterior angle. My challenge to you is to see if you can think about why. We're going to talk about it more on Monday. Let's look at another example. Okay. All right. Hey, now we're looking for the interior angle. So now we're kind of going backwards. So going backwards means that this is y, and then these two together equal 180. So 116 plus y is equal to 180. Subtract 116 from both sides, and y equals 80 minus 116 equals 64. So this angle here is 64. Now, let's look at these two angles to try to find this angle. So together, all three of them are equal to 180. So a straight line is supplementary. A straight line adds to 180, and all three angles of a triangle also add to 180. So then we have 55 plus 64 plus x equals 180. Add 55 plus 64. And would you believe we'll get 119 again? Seriously, who made this worksheet and had 119 for every single problem? And also, How bad am I for not actually looking at all of that beforehand? All right, so we subtract 119 to get x alone. And x is equal to, take a wild guess, what is 180 minus 119? If you said 61 without even having to think about it, good job. So that means this value here is 61. Okay. How we doing? All right. Moving on here. All right, we want to find the value of all missing angles here. Let's see. So we have 130 with this m right here. And what's the relationship between 130 and m? They're supplementary. So 130 plus m is equal to 180. Subtract 130 from both sides, and m is equal to 50. Okay? Likewise, these two are supplementary. So they add to 180. So 110 plus s is equal to 180. Subtract 110 from both sides, and s is equal to 70. Well, wait a second. How are we going to figure out these two now? There's two of them there. Well, now that we know what these two are, we can find p. Because we know that 50 plus 70 plus p is equal to 180. 120 plus p equals 180. Subtract 120 from both sides. P is equal to 60. Now we can find x, because p and x are supplementary. They add to 180. So 60 plus x equals 180. Subtract 60 from both sides. And 180 minus 60 is equal to 120. Check the answers. 50, 60, 70, 120. We did it. Don't forget, I didn't actually do this for any of these, but for all of these angles, you should have the little degree symbol afterwards. Don't forget your little degree symbols. Okay. All right, so just real quick recap, again, what we're going to be talking about on Monday is that when we think about these angles, the measure of the exterior angle is always the same as the sum of the two interior angles. I'm going to show you another example quickly. And on this example, I promise we won't have 119. All right, so let's say this is 40 degrees, and let's say this one is 55 degrees. All right. So this really is not drawn to scale very well, but that's okay. We can pretend. So let's say we want to find the measure of this angle right here. So we talked about how we could find that missing angle. So let's talk about the method that we just used, and let's do that one. So we said if this is y, if we do 55 plus 40 plus y, we get 180. That's 95 plus y equals 180. Subtract 95. See, I promise you wouldn't have 119 here. So do 180 minus 95, and we get 85. So that means y right here is 85. Now these two together equal what? They also equal 180 because they're supplementary. Make a linear pair. So 85 plus x is equal to 180. Subtract 85. And 180 minus 85 equals 95. Remember what I said? That the sum of the two interior angles is always going to be the sum, or always going to be the measure of the exterior angle. The sum of the two interior angles is the same as the measure of the exterior angle. We're going to look at that more on Monday. What I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to do the back of this worksheet to the best of your ability. showing any work that you may have. And then you're going to do the Unit 8 review worksheet showing every single piece of work. Yes, I know you're going to use a calculator, but whatever you type in the calculator, I need to see on your paper. I'm going to be checking for all of this on Tuesday. If you don't finish any of it, you have an extra day on the weekend. I don't get an extra day. I have to come to work on Monday. You have an extra day. So finish it in class now so you don't have to do it over the weekend and you can enjoy your 3-day weekend. Test is on Wednesday on Unit 8. Pythagorean theorem, irrational numbers, parallel lines and transversals, and these triangle angles. Got it? All right, be good. Thank you.